The first films in history were filmed in black and white because the chemical processes in monochrome for capturing the amount of light, processing the film, and printing it onto copies was much simpler than those that have to detect, separate, and distinguish between colors. Mark Jeffrey, a television engineer, goes on to explain how before World War I it was much more expensive to work with color film that wasn't commercially viable for a long time. According to Looking at Movies by Barthman Monahan, audiences have come to associate black and white photography and cinematography with a stronger sense of unidealized realism than that provided by color stock film because of its use in documentary films, newspapers, and magazines before the 1960s. Black and white's distinct contrasts and hard edges can look stark, somber, elegant, abstract, or simply different than our regular way of seeing things. One particular black and white film based on David Grubb's novel by the same name, The Night of the Hunter, was released in 1955, the only film ever to be directed by the famous actor Charles Laughton. This film was wildly unappreciated during the time of its release. However, the film has grown to obtain a cult following after Charles Laughton's death in 1962 due to its duality of both its contrasting light and dark themes and lighting. Shot by Stanley Cortez, the cinematographer on Orson Welles' The Magnificent Ambersons, the film The Night of the Hunter shows Cortez's talent and versatility. His film cinematography range from The Magnificent Ambersons' classified style to The Night of the Hunter's theatrical staying in chiaroscuro lighting. According to V. Renee from her online film journal, chiaroscuro lighting was pioneered in film during a movement called German Expressionism. The harsh, sparse technique created a sense of literal darkness and would soon work its way into American movies in prominent fashion with Orson Welles' Citizen Kane. Film noir was born shortly after that, and the style became ingrained in our national psyche. The Night of the Hunter falls into this category of German Expressionism and film noir. According to Alyssa Darsa from her online art journal, German Expressionism is an artistic genre that originated in Europe in the 1920s and is broadly defined as the rejection of Western conventions and the depiction of reality that is wildly distorted for emotional effect. In The Night of the Hunter, the lighting is used to illustrate the film noir thematic elements and also to illuminate what the director Charles Laughton would call a weird kind of Mother Goose tale. This is a film full of opposing forces. The struggle of the themes ranging between good and evil, the world of adults and the world of children, male and female, civilization and nature, sexuality and asexuality, and different interpretations of the Bible are expressed. In the film, a father, Ben Harper, leaves his two children, John and Pearl, with $10,000 and is also with the problematic secret of where this money that he dies for lies, in Pearl's doll. An evil reverend, Harry Powell, disguises himself and tricks the children's widowed mother, Willa Harper, into marrying him. Soon, Willa Harper is dead, seen in an incredible shot at the wheel of a car at the bottom of the river, her hair drifting with the seaweed. Eventually, the children are fleeing down the Dream River in a small boat, while the preacher follows them on the shore. This sequence uses wide shots and shot reverse technique to display the struggle between characters. Eventually, the children escape and run into an older lady who takes them in and eventually shoots the preacher, resulting in his capture. The lighting in the scenes following helps to manifest the good versus evil themes in the film. According to John Hess in his online journal on film noir, the first and most important light is the key light. This is usually the brightest and most dominant light of a setup. Complementing the key is the fill light, which is placed opposite of the key light to fill in some of the shadows left by the key. The final light of the 3-point setup is the backlight. This light adds an outline to separate the subject from the background. Moving beyond the basic 3-point lighting setup, there's one light in film noir that gets a lot of play, and that's the eye light. Used in non-film noir productions to add reflection in the eyes, film noir often isolates this light, illuminating only the eyes and brow to get a dramatic look. In this sequence of shots, the older lady named Rachel Cooper interacts with the preacher outside as she guards the children in the house. The viewer can see the unspoken communication between the two through the film's sound and cinematography. The film starts with showing Rachel disguised in a dark silhouette, the only lighting coming from a backlight from what is assumed to be the light coming from the environment outside of the house. The gun pointed in the direction toward where the preacher is understood to be standing outside. The next shot is this shot when the scene changes and Rachel's face is shown, her eyes and face lit in a way that creates a solemn and serious mood, her expression half masked by the darker light. The gun's direction has now changed and lies in a way to seem still straight, pointing at the preacher from the viewer's perspective. The final scene in the sequence is characterized by this dramatic shot of multiple lighting sources, the outside and the candle light that the preacher uses to escape from his lurking position. This scene is one of many in this black and white movie where lighting plays a key element in the film's plot and the viewer's interpretation of the characters and themes.
This couldn't happen again. This is that one